Today I have to go somewhere. So, if I'm going to do a morning talk show, I won't have time today. So, I'm going to have to do it now while I get ready to go. So, you get to get ready with me. It's so delightful. You're so lucky. This is what I look like when I woke up this morning. I look like crap because I didn't sleep very good. You know why? It was so hot last night. Here it's snowing outside right now. Not a lot. I mean, it's icky day. If it was warmer, it'd be a rainy day. But since it's cold, it's snowing. Anyway, so I was hot all night. I started out with my electric blanket on, and that was my problem. I just slopped my makeup here. So, and then I kept throwing the covers off and putting them on, and I don't know. I think Jamie woke up a few times and woke me up. Anyway, the night before I had taken an Ambien because on Saturday night I want to go get to sleep early because of church. And so I want to go to sleep at a decent time because I got to get up. So I really slept good that night because when you take an Ambien, you're like dead. But I don't like to take them only once in a while if I need to go to sleep early. And so I think that was my shocker, was that I had slept so good the night before, and then last night I didn't sleep at all good. So anyway, I'll be fine. I still slept enough hours. It's just it wasn't a real restful sleep. So maybe I should steal Jamie's oxygen. But I found the difference between oxygen and when you have a CCAP, sleep apnea, that's just air. I didn't realize that. It's just air, whereas Jamie has to have oxygen at night. I'm not going to tell you what I'm putting on and everything now because I already did the makeup thing. And you don't need to know everything about what stupid kind of makeup I'm using because I'm not a professional. And I don't recommend anything because I'm probably recommending the wrong things. So, I said it's snowing a little. It is. Hope it stops. It's not going to stick. It's a spring, like I said, like a spring rain, but we're cold here, so we get snow. Jamie woke up. He goes, "What am I going to do today?" Now, if I was him, I would think, weather's bad, can't do anything. I'm not going to do anything today. But he has to have an agenda every day, what he's going to do. It's so cute. And then at night, he has to report to me. He doesn't have to, but he does. He reports to me everything he did today, that day. And I said, now, do I have to tell you everything I did today? Report back to you? He says no. I said, honey, whatever you do, I know it's worthwhile. You don't have to do anything. But I'll tell you something. When I married Jamie, his dead wife's mother lived in town. It was his mother-in-law. And, we were nice to each other and everything, and cordial, and we did things with her and stuff. She's dead now, but she said, now, you're going to have to be patient with Jamie because he doesn't do anything, or he didn't do anything unless Elaine was on his case telling him to do everything. She told me that. And I'm thinking, that's not the Jamie I know. He's a workaholic. So when I told Jamie that, he said, well, I think it's just because it was I wasn't doing Elaine's agenda, which might be true. Like when you tell him what you need, like I need the toilet seat put on, and you want them to do it, but then they don't do it, so then they're not doing what you want them to do. It was probably like that. I just do it myself then. Or I tell Jamie how I'm going to do it. Like my tree, I wanted this little bushy dead tree down. It was in front of the house. And he had other things to do that were more important, you know? So I told him, okay, I think I can do it. I'm just going to tie a chain around it, a rope around the tree, and tie it to the car, and then drive off, and it will pull the tree out of the foundation. That's all I had to tell him. He went and did it right away. So that's how I work him. I always know. If I just tell him how I'm going to do it, then he gets on it. But no, Jamie's a workaholic. We're gonna find him when his time to go. We will find, this is what Trevor says too. We will find him out there working dead, because that's how he's gonna end up. But it's because that would be his favorite way to die. He would not want to die in his chair doing nothing. And around here, so many people are found dead in their gardens, in their pastures. They don't come home, and the family goes down and finds them dead in the field by the tractor. One guy, my lawyer, he told me his dad died down by the river. He said, I know he knew he was going to die, and he went down there. That's where he wanted to die. One lady, she found in her garden, dead. So, I do not want to die at the sewing machine, even though I love to sew. How do you want to die? Do you think of it? I don't know. Guess we can't do much about it. All right. I'll show you the latest things I made. Because you know, I love the sparklies. My favorite lipstick, the Revlon one. That's real lipstick for real women because it stays on. And I did it. And then my old Altoid box, I did it to it too. Isn't it beautiful? I buy on Temu, I buy the sheets of the diamonds, and it's so sticky. This is what size you can get bigger ones too. And then you just cut it, and you can put them on anything. So now I'm just looking everywhere. What can I diamond? What can I diamond? So, why? It's not important. It just makes me happy when I look at it, okay? That's the only reason. Here I try to simplify my makeup things so I don't have a dozen different non-used things. And little by little, it fills up again with crap. Like this. This is a highlighter, Mary Kay, I think, or something. My daughter, Emily, used to sell, well, she still does, sell Mary Kay. But now she just sells enough to keep her membership. This is a Mary Kay thing. And it's supposed to highlight your, right here. But did you know, when I was watching Johnny Depp trial, and Amber Heard, she put so much of this right here on her highlighted cheeks. I don't know if she did it or somebody else. Looks stupid, so I don't want to get too much highlight, because, you know, it's not a natural look. None of us have that much highlight. See, look, I have 3 of these. This one's nearly gone, this one's almost gone, and this is the new one. I'll use the new one. The new one's faster because it has more goop in it. But anyway, I have to drive somewhere, I think, today. And so, I don't know when I'm going to get the call that I have to leave. Sorry, I'm doing this and I can't move or I'll ruin it. And they say if you ruin your eyeliner or mascara or something, just wait for it to dry and then wipe it off. I'm always too impatient. So I get a Q-tip out and fix it right then. But it's not that important. No one's looking at me. But I still have to do it for me because it makes me feel better. And more dressed and polished. I don't know. I hate it myself. Wish I could just be normal. Some people are beautiful normal. They have dark eyelashes and, you know, and their skin. Misty, my daughter-in-law, she has flawless skin. Her skin is beautiful. She would not have to wear any kind of foundation because her skin is so beautiful. And even the doctor told her that, her complexion. So she's lucky. I don't know if she even wears foundation, but, and she has the most beautiful hands and feet. She could be a hands and feet model. Her fingers are long and, you know, it's just beautiful. Sometime when I'm videoing, I'll zoom in on her hands or her feet and you can see, because, you know, you'll be envious. All right. Did I do everything that I could possibly do? It's not going to help. All right. Because, you know, I got to be ready. Okay. Now I'm going to take my hair down. I'm looking at these notes I have here. Yesterday, I just had a wonderful Sunday doing nothing. But you'll see this on Tuesday because I do it a day ahead of time. And I published I think my quilt thing was today. I'm going to do a show. I have 2 of those cheap little sewing machines that you can buy, you know. And my mother gave me one, and when she didn't want it, and then I bought one. I'm going to demonstrate them and get them out and try them because I really have never used them. Probably tried it when I got it new. Always feels so good to get it all down. And I'm going to try it, and I'll film it, and we'll try them because people are asking me if I know anything about it and stuff. Because Temu sells one, and they say, "Isn't it good?" Well, I have the same one probably, the 2 little ones. One is the hand one, and the other one is the stitch one. Anyway, so I'll try them and record it. That could be a good video, but some people probably wouldn't like it. And Jamie is loving everything the women are saying to him. No one ever said that to him before. Did I ever tell you this story? Some of you might have heard it. When Jamie was in high school, he was kind of a dork, a nerd, and some of the girls would make fun of him and tease him or prank him or whatever. So he got this call one time from one of the popular girls, and he could hear all the other girls in the background laughing and stuff after a while. But at first they said, you know, "Will you go out with me?" or "Will you kiss me?" I don't know, something stupid. And, you know, he didn't know what to say. And so anyway, then all the girls were laughing in the background. You could hear them. And then they, you know, hung up on him. So when I got here, he showed me who that girl was that did it because she still lives in town. Yeah, she's an old lady now like the rest of us. And it was so funny because she works at Subway. I'm just going to wear this today. And so we ordered our Subway sandwiches, and she had to make it. And anyway, I told Jamie, pay with a $100 bill. So he did. Good. Because he who was last will be first. I knew that was a scripture. He who is first shall be last. Those people who think they need to be first all the time, who make fun, who bully and stuff, they're going to get there someday, right? So I'm not working at Subway. Not that I wouldn't. I would if I had to. I'm not cutting anybody. My daughter-in-law, my grandkids, they've all worked at Subway. It's a good place. Somebody has to work there. And I think it's more noble of you to have a job than to not have a job and complain that you don't have a job, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I was mad at that lady because she was making fun of Jamie. My bangs are always wonky. I'm going to have to hairspray them. And then I'm going to have to use the spritz. But you see, when I sleep in the bun with the curls, my hair's curled then when I wake up in the morning and I'm fast. Okay, I'm ready. I just have to spray this. All right. How much time? 15 minutes to get dressed. If I don't have to do anything to my hair like that. All right. Now, I wanted to talk about bad neighbors. Have you ever had bad neighbors? I have. And there are tons of shows on YouTube of neighbors fighting and everything. And one time I lived in a duplex. When you live in a duplex, and it was a weird duplex. It was long, and then the other duplex went this way. So they had to walk in front of our window to get to their house. In the beginning, we were friends. Both of our husbands were fishermen. And we were friends. But their little boy was the same age as Emily. And they weren't very good parents, or their child was unruly. They didn't have control over their child, which, I mean, you know, kids have to mind you when you speak, and you have to teach them that you are the boss. I remember I always had to remind Hillary when she was a little girl, who's the boss? You are. Yes, I'm the boss. You have to mind me. So anyway, they didn't teach their little boy that because he was probably precocious, but he would get in our mailbox and these still aren't clean, and he would take our mail and rip it up. Well, you know, sometimes back then especially, you got important mail because they didn't have email or texting or anything. And so, you know, we went to her and said, you know, let's try some different ones. Your little boy keeps getting in our mail. Could you please, you know, teach him not to? So anyway, it was a big problem. And then the other problem, they would never put him to bed, and it was a school night, and my boy's bedroom was right by their front door. And then he would just be screaming and playing out there, and then my kids couldn't go to sleep. And it was really annoying. So then, and it would keep my boys awake because then they'd like talking to him and stuff. So what happened was my husband, the alcoholic one, he got a glass, Scotty was his name. He was right out that window making noise and stuff. So Foster went and got a glass of water and poured it on him out the window, poured it on his head, you know. That was when all hell broke loose. They came over furious and they said, your boys poured water on my son, you know. And I said, they did not. And then he asked all of them, all the boys, this was the next day probably or something. And the boys all said, no, we didn't do it. We didn't do it. We didn't do it. And then he called me, you guys are all lying. And so I was so mad that they're calling my boys a liar. So then I told him I did it because I didn't want to snitch on my alcoholic husband because then he'd get mad at me. So I just told him I did it. Anyway, I lied then. But anyway, it was just fights after fights. And then we were both pregnant at the time. I was pregnant with Hillary and she was pregnant with her little girl. And, you know, we didn't need that stress going on. And we parked in the carport together on each side. We had to share it. Well, then it got to be, you're over the line. You're taking up more room than we are. So her husband put bricks down the center of the carport. And that made me mad because I could trip on a brick being pregnant and stuff. So we went, I think we even talked to the landlord about it, but they can't do much about it. They just say, stay on your own side, you know. it was just horrible. Everything went on, and I loaned her some books to read. So one day, you know, she came over when the fight started. She came over and threw the books in my door. Here's your books back, you know. And then it was just horrible. They had to walk by our window to go to their house. So we left the curtains closed most of the time because we didn't want to see them that close. We didn't want them looking in our window. And oh, it was just horrible. So finally, I took her, when she had her baby, I took her a meal in. And so that kind of, you know, made her a little, and I said, we shouldn't be fighting, you know, and so it made the thing better. We never were good friends anymore, but, you know, we tried to call a truce, so that worked. But, oh, it was horrible when you have a neighbor that you have to fight with. Now, my neighbors right now are all really good, and most of them go to our same church, and so we're all friendly, and we have subdivision parties and, you know, get-togethers and stuff. So when you have a good neighborhood, your life is happier. So be a good neighbor. That's my message for today. Be a good neighbor. All right, I have to get going now. My message came through, so I gotta go pick somebody up. Okay, bye.